Welcome to the Artist Advisory Hotline, the podcast for artists who want valuable guidance and honest answers on how to grow their careers and develop their new project from leading art world experts and artists. Here's your host and founder of the Artist Advisory, Marina Granger. Tune in as she gets you the answers you deserve.
Hello, artists. I'm your host, Marina Granger, and today I am so excited for Lionsgate Portal. This is August 8th, 2024. So if you look at the numbers, it's 888 because 2024, if you add up 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. And a Lionsgate portal is a really special time in astrology. It's the crux of it is on August 8th, and it's called Lionsgate because it's the constellation Leo that lines up perfectly with the constellation, the star system Sirius, which gives us the most magical abundance and manifestation of the year. So this is the day that you can really manifest anything that you desire. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Before we dive into a Lionsgate portal and how you can manifest anything that you want today, I also want to congratulate and thank all of the artists that have enrolled into the Artist Academy. This is such a great group. I feel like we are bursting at the seams. We've got 19 amazing artists enrolled in this program. And I want to thank you all so much for trusting me with your time, for taking the leap with me into this program to really master your mindset, get into good galleries, and manifest your dreams. So thank you, and a big congratulations to you. So I already started the course. We are going to be meeting live for the first time next week. And I had such a blast updating the modules. I put in some content about how to do EFT tapping. There were 2 EFT tappings along with the very first module. And I can't believe, if you told like 16-year-old me that I'd be doing this, I would not believe it. But I really truly feel like I have found my people. So thank you. But I had updated module 1 with a really special tool, which is how to use a pendulum. And that is like so exciting for me. So, oh my gosh, I'm like over the moon. So, thank you all so much. And I can't wait to meet with you all live. Now, I also have to say, while I was updating module 1 and maybe a little bit before, actually, I know exactly when I had this moment, but I was falling asleep. I couldn't sleep, and it was like 4:30 in the morning, and I had this incredible download. This happened, I think it was like July 31st. Yeah, July 31st at like 4:30 in the morning. So I had this incredible idea. I was like, I am going to create a program that's called Manifesting for Artists. And guess what? What's the acronym of Manifesting for Artists? MFA. So I'm going to create the mystical MFA, and it's going to be jam-packed with the most amazing modalities that I have used over the years to help myself and the artists that I work with manifest exactly what they want. And I cannot wait to launch this program. So once it's ready, I will let you know more about it. But I just want to say that MFA, the mystical MFA has been born, and I'm like at the edge of my seat to launch it. Now, you might also have been feeling a little bit weird during this time because let's face it, um, what did the memes say? They're like the the pizza's in the microwave or something. No, Mercury is in retrograde. And what does that mean? So, astronomically, it means that it looks like when we look at Mercury through a telescope, it looks like it's spinning backwards because of where it is in relation to the Earth and on its axis around the sun and blah, 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 right? But in astrology, this is a time that is notorious for making mechanical mishaps happen, technical and scheduling mishaps happen, and all of these like inconveniences. And so, you know me, if you're going to, you know, my philosophy, if you're going to think about the worst that could happen, it's only fair to think about the best that can happen. And there's something really special about Mercury retrograde. And it's something that I learned back when I was in graduate school. And you're thinking, like, what, Marina? Are you really connecting these dots here for me? Yes, I'm going to connect the dots. So I learned this in graduate school because in grad school, I was one of those people that took forever. Like I waited till the very last moment, till the deadline to submit my project or my paper, whatever. And maybe I was like that in college, but I really remember I was like that in graduate school. And so I learned that Mercury retrograde, whenever it happens, it's a wonderful time to finish projects. And so it did take me a little while longer than I thought to write my thesis. And I remember finishing it and like writing it like so easily during Mercury retrograde. And I was wondering, like, is this okay? Is this normal? But here's the thing. M- Mercury retrograde is a time in astrology to reflect, to reconsider, to finish, and to heal. And so Mercury will be in retrograde, I think, all of this month. And then there's like a 2 week shadow period. So you can either like Google the exact dates, but I can tell you, let me see, maybe I'll look it up right now. So the shadow period started on July 15th. Mercury went into retrograde on August 4th or 5th, depending on what time zone you're in. It comes out of retrograde on August 28th, but there's still a shadow period till September 12th. So during this time, you do want to be really, really mindful, looking at signing any contracts, starting anything new, moving into a new apartment or buying a house. Like, really look into it, scrutinize it, check it all the way around to make sure that you are doing your due diligence, because this is the time when that communication kind of falls to the wayside and mishaps can happen. But during this time is the perfect time to finish something that perhaps you have started. It is a perfect time to heal, right? And it is a really great time to revisit things, to reconsider, and have a big do over if you need to have a do over, right? So I really recommend this time. I love this time of the year because it's slow. Because I feel like it slows down so many people, so many things. I even had like I uh a meeting mix up earlier this week because somebody missed my email, and that is exactly what Mercury retrograde is, right? So I wanted to give you that kind of like PSA about it so that you can find the positive in it as well. And also just kind of give you the heads up just in case. Now, you know me, I'm very pragmatic as well. So, yes, this could all be um, kind of like psychosomatic, right? But I choose to approach the universe, um, kind of like using Pascal's wager, which is like, well, if it doesn't exist, I think Pascal's wager was like, oh, if God doesn't exist and I don't believe in him, then whatever, that's cool. But if God does exist and I don't believe in him, then I'm kind of screwed. So Pascal was like, let me just like believe in it. I also, in addition to that, I approach the universe with the mindset of, okay, if an insect looks at an iPhone, it will never comprehend how it works and what it is because it's literally like way beyond its capacity. Like it's beyond the insect's capacity to understand how an iPhone functions. And I think we are like that when it comes to the universe. We are the insect. The insect is to the iPhone as the we are to the universe. There's probably a really great explanation to how it all functions, but we will never truly understand it because it's beyond our capacity. So, anyway, let's talk about today. Today is 888. It is August 8th, 2024, and 2024. If you add those numbers up, add up to the number 8. And 8 it looks like an infinity sign, which is pretty cool. And the infinity sign is something that is everlasting. It is abundant. There is overflow in it. There's more than enough. And so Lionsgate Portal is a time in astrology. It's also a time period. It's not just today. There is a start and an end to it. It normally starts around July 28th and goes till August 12th. And it's called Lionsgate because we are in the Leo season, right? Which is representative of the lion. It's the constellation that looks like a lion, depending on which stars you connect. And on 888, during this period, the constellation passes through over and aligns with Sirius, which is an incredible star system, right? And the idea there is that Sirius casts its abundance onto us here on Earth, and we get to manifest whatever it is that we want to manifest, right? All the good fortune that we want. So it happens during this time. Now, it's funny that it's happening during Mercury retrograde, but remember, there is a really great part to Mercury retrograde, this idea of reflecting, reconsidering, healing, finishing something that you maybe always wanted to finish, and that starting something you always really wanted to start, right? Something, doing the thing that you always wanted to do. Now, it's a wonderful time for manifestation. I want to get into how you can manifest with it. And I also want to tell you that I'm sure you have heard that I've curated an exhibition called The Feminine Divine at the FORMah gallery here on the Lower East Side. And it runs through August 23rd. But today on August 8th, Thursday, at 6:30, we're having an event at the gallery. We're going to have a curator's walkthrough, and at 7:55, we're going to start a meditation that I'm going to tell you about, that I'm actually going to post on this podcast separately because I think it's such a powerful meditation. But in this meditation, we are going to, so if we started at 7:55, I'm going to take us through that portal, that Lionsgate portal, metaphorically, obviously in our minds, at 8 p.m. on the dot. So it'll be like so amazing, right? So if you can join us tomorrow at the FORMah, I will, or sorry, not tomorrow, today. See, already Mercury Retrograde is doing its thing. So if you can join us at the FORMah for this meditation on August 8th at 6:30, and the curator's walkthrough, which that's my tour, where I will tell you about the context of the artwork in relation to each other. Uh, then the link is in the notes to register. All right. So let me get down to this. How do you manifest using Lionsgate Portal? All right. So I'm going to tell you how to do it in 3 steps. Okay. So the first step is to understand how manifesting works. This is how it works. In a nutshell, you identify who you want to be, right? The version of you that already has whatever it is that you want, right? So, whatever that version of you is, you take on the identity of that version. Now, the next thing after you take on the identity of that version of yourself that has what you want, you are going to start to believe things differently, right? You will adjust your beliefs if you are that version of you. If I am the version of me that goes to Saint Tropez every August, then I'm going to believe that I go to Saint Tropez every August. So I must be there. There's got to be a way. And I will find a way to do that based on my thoughts. Based on those thoughts, I'm going to make different decisions and take different actions that are going to give me different results. So, for example, I would say, oh, it's August and I still don't have my ticket to Saint Tropez. How do I find a ticket? And how do I get there? So I would find a way to get those tickets and I would go. And that would be it. Right. But the version of me that doesn't might think, oh, these tickets aren't really worth it. Is it worth it for me to go for a week? Because I only have a week to go to Europe. And then there's that version of me that is not into going to Saint Tropez in August. And she talks herself out of it. Right. And says, oh, woe is me. I can never go to Saint Tropez in August. Right. So the version of me that believes that I'm the type of person that goes to Saint Tropez every August is more empowered to get there. Right. So that is just an example of how step 1 works. And there's so many different aspects to step 1 because it's also identifying that person and identifying the identity of who you want to become is really challenging sometimes because sometimes we're not able to even see that identity because of the beliefs that we have. Right. So breaking through any past limiting beliefs and then also reprogramming your subconscious mind to listen and believe you when you say you are that version of yourself so you can actually make the decisions that get you there. That's really intense. But just to give you the kind of like 1, 2, 3 step version, that is step 1, right? Step 2 is to access the version of you who already has what you want. Now, there's this idea of how vast the universe is. It's infinite, it is huge, enormous. And there's something called the many worlds theory. And the many worlds theory suggests that there are infinite worlds out there that are just like this, just on the probability of infiniteness. where you and I are doing exactly what we're doing, except perhaps you're wearing a different color shirt today, right? That is how different it is. And I remember reading an interview in either Scientific American or Discovery Magazine when I was younger. And there was a quantum physicist who was talking about this exact theory. And he was saying that he no longer has any variety of in his lunch cuisine. He always eats the same thing for lunch because he knows there's a version of himself out there in the universe that eats something different. So he doesn't even bother, right? So that was really interesting. So, anyway, so the second point is to realize that there is a version of you out there in the universe that already has what you want. And the second step is not only to realize this, but also to access that version of you. Okay. You're going to access that version of you. And how are you going to do it? Well, you can do it through a meditation that I will be posting on this podcast. So you can just jump to that when you are ready at the end of this podcast episode. So, and you can access that meditation anytime. So once you access that version of you, the third and final step is to ask that version of you how you can have what you want now. What can you do to have it? What can they tell you about how you can get the thing now? Right? So this is how you can manifest during Lionsgate Portal. And if this sounds a little intense here, just buckle up, go for the ride with me, and dive into this meditation, which is going to be the on this. It's like the next episode on this podcast. All right, you guys. So I'll see you in the meditation and next time as well. Happy Lionsgate, and I hope you get whatever it is that you want.
Thank you so much for listening. Support your community by sharing this podcast, leaving a review, and follow The Artist Advisory on Instagram at @the_artist_advisory, and visit us online at www.theartistadvisory.com.